Today's topic will be teleportation. Is it possible to teleport your body from one place to another without any technology but belief? And I think it is. I think once you realize location is a property of the object, not the area in which the object resides. That's key. Once you realize this and you start to notice what changes in your aurora or like your frequency as you move your body, if you can identify what that subtle change is, then I think it would be possible to manually change that frequency. It's kind of like a video game. Like like in the game Fortnite, the programmers of Fortnite, back up a little bit, it's got 100 players with 100 different network connections. It would be highly inefficient if the player's location would be where they resided on the map, because that means that they would have to track every single location on the map, and that would be computationally like impossible. So the way that they actually do it is each player has a location property, and that property, it's like a XYZ maybe. Like how the vertical would be Z, their XY would be where at in the map they were. And that's how they track the location of the characters. Because each player has a property location. So instead of like a billion different locations they would have to track throughout the map, they only have to track 100 locations for the 100 players on the 100 different network connections. And it would make sense that that's how real life would work too. The location of the object is a property of the object. It's not the area in which it resides. Once this is understood, I think it's a lot easier to imagine the possibility of teleportation as a miracle. All you would have to do is you'd have to figure out the subtle change in your auroric frequency, or like your body frequency whenever you're moving your body, and then manually adjust that. And how would you manually adjust it? I have some ideas. One would be to manually induce the prickly goosebumps, and then move the prickly goosebumps towards the area where the subtle differences happen in your auroric frequency when you're moving. So if you because the prickly goosebumps are the pineal gland, which is a piezoelectric crystal, and when pressure is applied to a piezoelectric crystal, it gives off electricity, and that's felt as the prickly goosebumps. So I don't know about anyone else, but when I work out, a lot of people, including me, wear headphones, and you have like a playlist you play, and every once in a while you'll get the perfect part of a song at a perfect part of your workout, and you get the prickly goosebumps, and the sound waves coming from the headphones are applying pressure to your pineal gland in your brain, which releases electricity, which turns into prickly goosebumps. And usually when this happens, you finish your workout with like increased vigor. Like, you always finish your workout when you get the prickly goosebumps. You always get that last set, and you always finish off your last 100 meters of your jog, like running faster than you normally would. And it like elevates your whole body. I've had it happen to me one time in high school when I was running track. I was running the 400 meter dash, and normally my times were like a 53 or like a 52. Those are my normal times throughout the year. And this one time I got the prickly goosebumps. Because normally when you run the 400, you're basically running it at 99% full speed. That's how you're supposed to run it. Even though you're gonna die out around the 300 meter mark, and then your legs just like feel like jello for that last 100 meters. But this time, on the last 100 meters, I remember I saw someone cheering for me on the stands that I had like a crush on or something when I was in high school. I forget who it was. But anyway, I got the prickly goosebumps at that moment, and my legs didn't go turn to jello. I had like a whole nother gear, and I ended up running like a 50-second 400, which is my fastest time ever by like 2 seconds, which is huge in a 400 meter. 2 seconds is like 20 meters. I ran 20 meters faster than normal. And so that's just like my personal example of how the prickly goosebumps can elevate your physical capabilities. It like increases your frequency of your aurora, basically. And if you could direct that, like I only had it, normally you only get it when you're working out for like 10-15 seconds. Imagine if you can manually do it for, I don't know, a minute or 10 minutes or an hour. What could you be able to do then? Like you'd be able to do superhuman stuff for a long period of time. Imagine if then you could direct the prickly goosebumps towards certain areas of your body. Like say if you wanted to throw a punch harder or something, you could direct it towards your fist. Or if you wanted to teleport, you would direct it towards wherever that frequency, that subtle frequency changes in your auroric field, and elevate it so that you would move to a different direction, move to a different area without having to actually physically travel there. It would be like, I don't know how you would be able to actually direct it, like direct the actual location where you would end up. So that would be a problem you would have to figure out. I think one way you could figure it out would be, one way you could be able to direct it, and imagine that you could direct it. It would be by feeling and thought at the same time. There's studies that have been done on the power of the brain and the human psyche, and when they did it separately, when they had the test subjects feel like they were doing something, it wouldn't manifest. If they had the subjects think of doing something, it wouldn't manifest. Nothing would change. But when they thought of manifesting something and they felt like manifesting something, both at the same time, it would manifest. And it would be like, the analogy is, thought is the male, or the the magnetic, and the feelings are the female, or the magnetic. And you put them together, electromagnetic. That's where you get electricity. The male, female, it creates the life force, the soul force. So if you could do that while you had the prickly goosebumps, you manually induced the prickly goosebumps on yourself. You knew where the subtle changes of frequency were for locate your body's location property within your auroric field, and you thought and felt that auroric field while moving the prickly goosebumps to that location, that subtle area of your auroric field, and you thought and felt your body in a different location, I think that's how you would be able to actually teleport. Now, that's without technology, and I don't know. There's saints that could teleport. There's saints that could they had bilocation, where they were in two places at once. There's a book. It's about miracles, and the guy talks about how he figured out how to do them, and it had to do with breathing. And he was able to do bilocation, and he said it just happened one day after doing this certain breathing technique, which really is just properly breathing, by breathing in through the nose and into the belly, not the chest, not the lungs, the belly, and then breathing out through the mouth, and doing this like for a couple hours a day for like 60 days. He did this, and then one day his body felt like it was in two different locations. He could see in two different areas. He was literally in two different locations in this book. And there's examples of this, examples of saints having this ability, this miracle. I don't know if I think I've mentioned it before, but I've made the most comprehensive list of Christian saints on the entire internet, and there are many examples of miracles that include flight, bilocation, and teleportation. Flight, I think, is more levitation, and it kind of goes inside with it kind of coincides with teleportation, but it's I guess it would be less drastic. And this guy in this miracle book, I'll try to list it if I can find it again in the description of the video. But he says that there are people that can teleport, and he says he's seen it happen. He's done it before, and he's had people see him do it and not even react to it, as in they knew how to do it already. Like these Buddhist monks, I think it was like Buddhist monks or something. They already knew it was possible, and they didn't even react, like it wasn't even a big deal to them. That's without technology, how to teleport. And I have no idea if it works, but I'm going to try it eventually.